Ashneer Grover. He recently had a lot of issues. I think his call recording was leaked also. We all have kind of found him as a scapegoat कि ठीक है सब करप्शन इसने की है, सारी गलती इसकी ही हुई है. Yo guys, namaskaram. So, Debu ki Dastak is a platform where we talk on mental health and a lot of other sensitive issues, right? So basically, the entire aim of this channel is to build a community around sensitive issues and make people feel comfortable about themselves. So basically, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Our mission is to empower you with ideas to live smartly and joyfully. The world is full of suffering, but let us increase our competence to deal with things joyfully. And just a tip, so all these are basically conversations, so I might suggest that you should watch these conversations at 1.5x. You can increase the playback speed through the button in the settings. Cheers and enjoy watching. यो गाइस नमस्कारम. सो आज हम बात करेंगे कि क्यों हम अपनी लाइफ वेस्ट कर रहे हैं एक सिंगल कॉज ढूंढ ढूंढ के. So basically, in psychology, this term is known as casual oversimplification. What this basically means is that when, a thing happens, a very big thing happens, we try to find that one single and simple cause that might have caused it. Though in reality, we know that there are a lot of different causes. So just to give you some examples from daily life, so let's say a relationship goes berserk. There might be several factors, but you just try to pin it out. Like she might have cheated on you, or he might have cheated on you. But that is usually not the case. There might be compatibility issues and those kind of things. The ability to judge a person after years on a thing that might have happened in the past, but still we feel that his character is the same right now, though in reality might have changed. So this is again an example of single cause, that जैसा वो पहले था वो वैसा ही अभी होगा. There might have not been any changes. For example, if some we ascribe someone to be an idiot, let's say 2 to 3 years ago, he still might be an idiot. Or let's say another common fallacy can be when a person is just good in one thing, so we kind of assume that he's a good person overall because he's just good at that one thing. So because of this casual oversimplification, ठीक है एक चीज में अच्छे है तो सब चीज में अच्छा ही होगा और जो भी काम करेगा अच्छा ही होगा. This usually happens in schools and all, when a teacher kind of misjudges, if a person is just topping the school, so the teacher tries to give him or her more and more opportunities because of this bias कि ठीक है ये एक चीज तो अच्छी कर ही रहा है, बाकी सारी चीजों में भी अच्छा होगा, चाहे उसका कोई पोटेंशियल नहीं है. लेट्स से कोई और पर्सन जो फेल हो रहा हो क्लास में, क्या पता वो इंसान वो एक चीज अच्छे से करे. So a lot of factors that come into play usually when we go on pursuing a thing, or let's say when a thing happens. So I would just like to take this recent example of Ashneer Grover. So you all know that he recently had a lot of issues. I think his call recording was leaked also. And we all have kind of found him as a scapegoat कि ठीक है सब corruption इसने की है, सारी गलती इसकी ही हुई है, right? We really don't know because we were not there. There might have been a lot of big names and corporates involved, but we would never know their names because it would be a secret until it comes out in the public. So, like in this instance, let's say of this shutdown of this individual, technically speaking, of his career, we just try to ascribe one reason कि ठीक है इसने ये गलती की या जो भी है इसका सीन, या they were corrupt people or those kind of things. And we then kind of just want him to take the blame for everything, even though there might be a lot of corporations involved which we would not know. So this is one thing. Now the question comes is like how it impacts us and what we can learn from it. So our actions upon us are brought to us by the interaction of thousands of factors, from genetic predisposition, like जो हमारी genetic factors हैं, to our upbringing, from education to, let's say, the concentration of hormones between individual brain cells, किसका brain किस तरह कब कैसे काम कर रहा है, कौन कैसे optimum है. So you cannot kind of generalize कि ठीक है ये एक चीज अच्छे से नहीं कर रहा क्योंकि of this X reason or Y reason or Z reason. There might be A to Z reasons. We don't know all the reasons. Uh, I think this is not only wrong but also morally questionable, because as long as we believe in singular reasons, we will always be able to to trace any disaster or triumphs and stamp them on just one single thing, which is not right. It's, I think, irresponsible, because we don't take the time to kind of see that which multiple factors might come into play. So this idiotic hunt of a scapegoat goes hand in hand with the exercise of power, a game which we people have been playing for thousands of years. Because in tribes, if you look from ancient history, what used to happen in tribes when you used to hang out in groups, whenever things used to go wrong, people kind of just used to blame things on this one specific guy, that he's the reason thing that happened to us. Let's say if people are going for in living in savannas and going for hunting, and a lion kind of eats a certain person. So uh, someone might blame कि ठीक है उस इंसान ने देखा नहीं, या he might have not run faster, these kind of things. But who knows, there might be a number of issues. So just a thinking exercise. So now comes what can be a solution for this. I would like to take this solution from the product management world. So if you have seen any product manager, usually they kind of deep think on problems and kind of try to jot down multiple cause and effects of the thing that might make it successful or unsuccessful. So let's say a product manager kind of wants to launch a product, so he jots down all the things that might go wrong and then try to jot down all the solutions that might be in favor of this specific product being launched successfully. So we'll use that same approach. It's what we'll do is you can just take a sheet of paper and sketch out all the potential reasons ki theek hai. Let's say if you want to do something, or let's say something might have gone wrong, so it can work both ways. Just take out a sheet of paper and sketch out all potential reasons. Just do some deep thinking. ठीक है, एक ये reason हो सकता है, एक ये reason हो सकता है. After a while, you'll see that you'll have a network of possible solutions or possible influencing factors, 10, 15 of them, right? The second thing is just highlight those things which you can change through your own effort, and kind of delete those or mark them in red, which you cannot change. Let's say human nature of other people, or genetic nature of other people, or the stature of market at that specific region, these kind of things. And then the third thing is you might do certain Google researches or just read small research papers or just the studies or conclusions that the factors which you think directly impact you or which you can change. Just kind of get optimum methods from Google or research papers, that what's the optimum way to kind of approach this. And then you'll see that you'll have a potential list of problems and a potential list of solutions. I might say you can also give yourself a time limit of 1 to 2 days, so that you just don't waste your time researching all the time. So of course this method would cost you time, but you will be very confident in this approach because it comes from your brain and it's based on solid scientific research rather than your fear. So the aim of this exercise is to kind of just minimize the role of fear in your decision making, or let's say your tendency to blame or just find the singular reasons or blame other people. So from this you'll move from an irresponsible behavior action to a responsible behavior and action. So yeah, that's a small video, and I would just like to conclude with one quote from Leo Tolstoy, in which he says that when an apple ripens and fall, what makes it fall? Is it that it is attracted to the ground, or is it that the stem withers? Is it that the sun has dried it up, that it has grown heavier, that the wind shakes it, that the boy standing underneath it wants to eat it? No one thing is the cause. So this is from War and Peace, which Leo Tolstoy had written. It's a very good book. You should kind of read it. So, a summer, a friend's divorce, even the First World War for that matter, cancer, a school shooting, the worldwide success of a company, the invention of writing. Any clear thinking person knows that these things are not just ascribed to one single factor. Rather, there are hundreds and thousands, or let's say an infinite number of factors that add up. Still, we try to kind of keep on blaming one thing, and if you kind of just replace this tendency within you, you'll find that you'll become a much more clear thinking person, and in your decision making you'll kind of just remove more errors and biases. Yeah, so let me know what you feel about this. And this is Debashish Pindra from Debu ki Dastak, signing off. Cheers.